today, Crunchyroll released something very new, a little treat for fans of the series called Blade Runner. Now, to be perfectly honest, I have never seen the previous works of Blade Runner. I've never seen the original movie. I don't really know much about Blade Runner. The only thing I know about Blade Runner is the stuff I've heard today about it from fans of the series, and also recommending me to watch the first episode on Crunchyroll that came out today, and so that's the only thing I really know about the series. So I guess in a way you could say this is a legit first impressions of Blade Runners. So anyways, to get into a little bit of details, Blade Runners was released today on Crunchyroll, free for everyone to watch. You don't even need to be a member of Crunchyroll to watch it. It's for free on their site, so I'll have it in the description for you to check it out for yourself. But basically, though, Blade Runners is like an old series. It's a very old series, and apparently there was a movie a long time ago, became very popular, and apparently from what I have heard, that it actually inspired some aspects of Ghost in the Shell. Now, don't quote me on that. That's what I've just heard today. So if that's true, that's actually pretty insane to inspire Ghost in the Shell, because that's a iconic series. Anyways, though, like I said, I know next to nothing about the series, so I was kind of worried a lot when I started this episode. If I didn't know anything, or if I didn't see the previous movie, would I be confused? Would I not know what's going on? Would I need to watch the previous stuff? Some said I needed to watch the movie, and then some said I really didn't. If I wanted to know more about the world and stuff, obviously I would need to watch the movie, but in terms of just the way the episode is, the way it's structured, I really don't have to. So I decided to give it a shot, and gotta say, I like what I saw overall. The first episode, which is very short, it's actually 15 minutes long, and that's counting the ending song and then the little opening of that discussing how this is like a project that's been in the works for a bit. Basically, it cuts around maybe 13 minutes of actual anime footage, and just to be clear with this is a prologue to the upcoming movie. I think it's Blade Runners like 2049 or something. Apparently there's an upcoming movie for Blade Runners, and like I said, this is a prologue to that upcoming movie. Now, let me get into a little bit more clarification. So, Blade Runners, who made this, is actually Watanabe, the same director that made Cowboy Bebop, made, Samurai Champloo, and also worked on Zenkyo no Terror. The director of these three series that are very famous. That same director is working on this episode, Blade Runner, and also I'm assuming he's working on the movie. So, obviously, the director knows how to direct. He knows what he needs to do when it comes to a series, and he knows how to make a very good anime and tell a good story. And so in this case, I knew for a fact, since Watanabe's track record has been so good, I knew I would expect something really fabulous with the first episode, and like I expected, it was a great first episode. Now, I'm a little bit confused on some aspects of Blade Runners in general, since, like I said, this is my first time actually being a part of the franchise in general. I've never seen the movie or anything, don't really know much about it, so I am a little bit confused on some areas, but overall, I think I grasped the overall plot of what the series is about, or at the very least, what the upcoming movie is going to be about. So let me kind of explain. So from what I understood, is that a long time ago, humanity, they made these like robots, which are called replicants, and they also had these soldiers called Nexus, if I'm correct. Now, like I said, if I'm wrong in any of this information, correct me in the comments, but like I said, this is my first impressions. Basically, you had these replicants that were made, and eventually, humanity started to discriminate against replicants and started to get rid of them entirely, just remove them, and they were always prosecuted and hunted down. And so eventually, you had it to where replicants, they wanted to be able to live in society without being hunted down. They didn't want to have to worry about their life being on the line. And so eventually, they devised a plan to actually create this giant, EMP to wipe out like all of technology for a bit, and then also kill all of the servers that have like information on the replicants. To identify replicants, they're trying to remove all the main servers for basically they can never find out who is a replicant and who is a human, and so they can live in peace and never have to worry ever again. That's basically what I think the plot is about in this, 15-minute episode, and overall, it's very entertaining. I mean, even as a newcomer to the franchise, I gotta admit that when it comes to the art style, Watanabe did a fantastic job. Like, I don't know exactly who worked on the art style, but they did a really good job, because it was absolutely beautiful. I mean, go watch the episode yourself. Link is in the description. It was a really, really beautiful episode. Just art, animation was good. It looks so good. And the keyframes, oh my the keyframes between the scenes. Like, I'm not even gonna joke, I haven't seen keyframes that good since I watched, like, the movie Redline. I remember watching Redline and being, like, just amazed by how good it looked, because just the keyframes and all that between the scenes, the animation and all that, it looks so good. And when you see this episode, it's so beautiful. And I mean, if this is how the movie is going to look, I need to watch the movie, because it looks so good. Just from a animation art perspective, it was a 10 out of 10. That's how good it looked. Now, like the story, what I was saying earlier, the story so far, I think it's very simple to kind of pick up on and understand. I mean, I don't really know who these characters are in, you know, the episode. I don't know if, like, any of the characters are, like, the main character. I'm assuming, you know, the dude is actually the main character, like Blade Runner or something, but I don't really know exactly who they are, what their real names are. I just, however, do know that the plot of the series is that replicants, they're prosecuted, hunted down, they want to be able to be free, so they sent out an, EMP, wiped out technology, destroyed the backup servers, and that's basically where the prologue episode ends, and then I guess the movie will start for Blade Runner 2049 or something. So we're gonna have a big jump. Like, I think, yeah, we're gonna have about 29 years jumped. Yeah, we'll have 29 years. So there's gonna be a 29-year time skip. Now, thinking about it, apparently the replicants, they can live a lot longer than humans because they're robots, basically, artificial humans. So they don't age. So in a lot of ways, I think the characters that survived in this prologue probably will carry over to the main movie. And maybe the character that was in this was also the character from the main series or whatever, and, you know, he's just been living for a very long time. Let's actually talk about that, the characterization. So there was some characterization going on with the replicants, and finding out that a while back, or how humanity really is in general, you know, we always like to wage war with each other. That's just how humanity is. We're always getting in fights, we're always waging war. That's just the essence of humanity. And in this case, war got to such a point to where instead of sending actual soldiers, we started to send, like, replicants, robots, artificial humans to go do our wars for us. And here's the, you know, messed up part about this. The replicants, they have their own emotions, they have their own viewpoints and how they view things and stuff. However, they were fighting in a war and all that for their country, but in reality, when they finally fought and all that, and they brought someone down and they were looking, like, to see if, you know, who they were, they realized that they were fighting other replicants as well. So it wasn't just like humanity versus replicants or whatever. It was replicants fighting other replicants. And so it was kind of like a big toy box. It's like seeing two big grown-ups or whatever having toys on the battlefield and making them fight like chess pieces. That's basically what was going on, and that's what I'm assuming the main character had to go through, and what eventually started to where he realized how messed up the world is and how things need to be changed and how they're just being used, and there's really, you know, something going on there. Like, they need to fix this because it's messed up how they are being hunted down when stuff like this is allowed to happen constantly, and they're being used like they're just tools, objects, and not actual people. So in a way, this series does bring up something very controversial. It brings up the aspect of, if AI advanced to the point of being able to be aware of its surroundings and have its own intelligence and know what's right or wrong, how would we react as humanity? What would we do? Because this is a big topic of debate, even in our society. What would happen if we invented an AI, or whatever, artificial intelligence, that was able to think at the level of us, or even surpass us? Humanity might get a little bit jealous, envious, and in some ways we would want to get rid of it, because it could be a threat. And that's probably what's going on here. In terms of this topic, maybe humanity didn't like the fact that, you know, these replicants started to succeed, you know, humanity, and they probably wanted to get rid of them. That's just my 2 cents there. Now, like I said, I don't know if this is correct or not. It's just me speculating about the series because of what I witnessed in this prologue, but it's a really fascinating series. It truly is a fascinating series, and it's definitely worth a watch. I mean, it's only 15 minutes, and it's actually less than that if you're not counting the ending song, which, by the way, the ending song, beautiful, beautiful ending song. Oh, that's beautiful. But, I mean, besides that, though, I mean, it's worth a watch. It's really short. It kind of lets you know what to expect from the series. There's a lot of action. It's like sci-fi setting, set way off into the future. I guess not really that far off, because it's actually 2017, and the timeline of the movie takes place in 2020. So when you think about it, it's not really that far off in the future, but you get my point. It's a futuristic setting. Society is definitely different from our society, and you have it to where artificial intelligence are a part of it, and, you know, eventually eventually there's going to be a big time skip for the actual movie for 2049. So, yeah, there's the details for you. Like I said, the link is in the description for the episode if you want to check it out for yourself. It's free. Crunchyroll released it free for everyone, so you can see it and you don't have to worry. I know some countries might have problems watching it, though, because I know Crunchyroll doesn't allow all countries to view things, but I do know they have quite a few countries that can watch it, so most likely you will be okay. So anyways, tell me your thoughts. How do you feel about this? And, you know, old fans of Blade Runner, I mean, let me know. If I got anything wrong in this video in terms of my impressions or whatever, let me know in the comments. I am gladly welcome to anyone correcting me and letting me know if I got something wrong. I'm open for it. I truly am. And, you know, I actually like what I witnessed. I do want to go back and see the original movie because I did like what I saw here. And I definitely want to watch the movie when it does come out. That's a definite thing I will do. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about, you know, this new episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Please be honest in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you want to continue to support me for I can focus on YouTube, please go in the description and support me on Patreon. It helps me out a lot no matter how much it is. It helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.